welcome to part 2 of Ask the Warrior for the 21st of February 2015. So last time we covered quite a range of topics. Now we move on to the last set for the basically hopefully maybe not the last set of questions, we never know. And the next set of questions, and the next 5 questions come from Arcus. And the first question is, what are the top 5 most disappointing games of the 7th generation? Xbox 360, PS3, Wii games, and your top 5 games from the 7th generation. I don't think I can actually answer that question, so edit out. Whoop. Edit that part out. Okay, next question. Can you explain? Okay. This is technically the second question from Marcus. His first question I don't think I can answer. First question from Arcus is, can you explain in detail what it is that you don't like about the Metal Gear Solid series? Okay, let me clearly state this right now. I actually haven't played that much of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. It's just a series that has never actually interested me. Now, I have seen Let's Plays and story explanations. I did try and play Metal Gear Solid 4, but I gave up a little while into it because I was like, this is a fucking movie, I don't care, and tossed and just didn't play it. So it's not, I don't dislike the series, I just don't like it. It just doesn't interest me. I get why people like it. I get people, the spy, the espionage, the silliness, the campiness, the goofiness. I get why people like it. I just don't personally like it. No, I don't have a major problem with the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I don't, or series. The main problem I have is with the creator of the shows. I think what's his name again? Kojima. I don't like Kojima at all. Now, I don't know him personally. I don't like the personality he portrays when he's basically on the stage. He said things in the past that I'm just like, really? What the flying fuck have you just said? Like, for those who don't know, the character who is basically wearing a bikini and is a sniper. Now, I don't know nothing about the character, but he flat stated he made that character so that he could see women dress up as that in cosplay. Now, I couldn't actually find the direct quote, but it's something along those lines. He created the character because he wanted to actually see females dress up in that character. Now, some guys have dressed up in those, I find it's fucking hilarious. But that just made me go, what? I just don't like him I don't like his personality. I don't. And I don't know him in real life. But it's just, I'm like, really? What the flying fuck, dude? I'll give him that, at least he's honest. But it's more so, I just don't like the guy. I don't like the way he comes across. He comes across as very arrogant. And also, like, this is my creation. It's the best. You better fucking like it. He just comes across as very arrogant to me, personally. And it's just, I just don't like him. I don't like his personality he portrays. Maybe in real life he's an absolute gentleman. Maybe in real life, me and him would get along. I'd still say flat out to his face, I don't like your games. I don't like them. And also, I honestly think he wants to be a movie maker. I think he wants to make movies, but he doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the ability, or no one will give him a movie to make. So yeah, I honestly think that. Also, it's just he said some other stuff in the past that I can't remember off the top of my head, but he has said stuff in the past that I'm just like, dude, get a PR person. Shut your fucking mouth. Ugh. So yeah, the Metal Gear Solid franchise just doesn't interest me. That's the main reason I don't like it that much. I just don't like Kojima mostly. As I say, that's just because. So yeah, if you like the Metal Gear Solid franchise, I'm not going to shit on it and say, oh, I hate it. I'm just saying, I don't like it. If you like it, that's fine. My friend GamerMD83 likes the series to an extent. I don't, but I'm just like, you like what you like, I like what I like. Simple as. It's just something that doesn't interest me. So, yeah, I just don't like it. It just doesn't interest me at all. So, I can't really explain it. It's just one of those things, like, we all get those series that everyone else likes, but we're just like, why the hell do you like that? We don't get it. Like, there are plenty of series out there that I like that some people might not like. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but so yeah, that's just the way it is. It's just it doesn't appeal to me. So yeah, who knows? Maybe I will pick up Metal Gear Solid 5 and the Phantom Pain, and I'll actually like it. Who knows? Maybe. Unlikely, but maybe. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. I'm skipping your third question, Arcus, because I do have a plan for that. He's asking about Dragon Age Inquisition DLC. I do intend to talk about it, so I'm going to have to skip that question. What do you think? Why do you think Mass Effect 3 puts so much focus on the emphasis of retaking Earth and saving Earth, when it's clear the overall game is a... Skipping that question. Next question from Arcus is, what is the first gaming console you owned? First game that you ever played, and the first game you have ever beaten. Okay, first game I ever played is either Tetris or Pac-Man. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was first, but I definitely played Tetris or Pac-Man first. And I love those games, I absolutely do. First console I officially owned, that I actually own now. Let me actually show you the first console that I ever owned. This is the first console I ever owned. Yeah, the N64. I still have it. Unfortunately, I don't have one of the cables. As I said, the cables are stacked away somewhere. I've actually lost one of them, I think. I still have the controller and everything, and still some of the games, I think. But this was the first console I ever owned. My mum bought it for me when I was a wee lad, and I still have it. Oh fuck, man, it's dusty as hell. It's been a while since it's been set up. I actually want to get all the cables for it and set this back up and actually play it again. But I don't even know if this thing will still work because of the fact that it has been packed away for so long. I'd probably have to give it a really deep clean, in all honesty. Yeah, I can already tell off the bat I'm going to have to give this thing a really good clean, or probably pay someone to clean it. Because, yeah, it has been quite a bloody while since I actually played it. But it should still work. So yeah, the N64 was the first console I ever owned. As for the first console I ever bought with my own money, it was... What was it again? I think it was my Xbox 360 on my PS3. It was my Xbox 360. I actually bought that with my birthday money. If we're talking money I actually earned, PlayStation 4. And PC. Those are the first two consoles I bought with my own money, not my mum's money or my family's money. Don't look at me like that. Don't judge me. So yeah, that's the first console, first game, and first game I ever beat. Probably No, I couldn't beat Tetris. I honestly can't remember. I think it might have been Mario. Mario 64, I think. I'm not. No, it wasn't Mario, was it? No, it was Mario. Mario 64 was the first game I can remember beating. So yeah, thank you, Arcus, for your questions. I hope I answered them to the best of my ability. Next set of questions comes from Wayne Clark. His first question is, do you follow any sports? No. I don't like football. I don't like rugby. Here's the thing. It's not that I don't like them. I hate the fan bases. And sport just doesn't appeal to me. The only kind of sport... Sorry. The only sport that appealed to me was martial arts. I actually like watching martial arts events every now and then. Because I do have a bit of a martial arts background. I was a black belt a few years ago, actually. I had to give up because of money, unfortunately. And I still practice it a little bit, but not official, not legal, I don't have a license or anything yet anymore. And I need to regrade and all that crap. But that's the only one I kind of follow anymore. I don't even follow esports. I get the appeal to esports. I just don't follow it. But yeah, I don't particularly follow any sports, mostly because of my bad experience I've had with it. I've lived in Glasgow my whole life, and if you know anything about Glasgow, it's always been Rangers versus Celtic for as long as I could fucking remember. Old Firm, and I just got a real bad taste for that kind of thing, and I just didn't like it. I really didn't like that feeling. The only other sport I kind of watched and I occasionally check up on every now and then was professional wrestling. But even then, I don't classify it as a sport. I can classify that as entertainment, personally. But even though it does require a lot of physical exertion, it is more of an entertainment show rather than a sport, in all honesty. But that was the only one I kind of followed. So, yeah. Next question from Wayne is, do you think that games have lost the middle ground over the last year? Like we have great games like DAI and just plain stinkers like Watch Dogs. Thoughts? I don't think we have, in all honesty. There are still games out there that I absolutely love. Dragon Age Inquisition. I love that game. In fact, I'll grab it right here. I fucking love this game. This game's amazing. Compared to Watch Dogs, which is a pile of fucking horse shit. And I never want to play that again. But there are games out there that still do the middle ground. Wolfenstein, for example. I really like Wolfenstein. I really do. And in all honesty, it probably isn't anywhere near the middle ground, in all honesty. But I still think there is a middle ground of games that you can go, it was alright. I'd probably say wait for a little bit. Like, there are still games out there. I can't think of some off the top of my head. I either really like a game or I think a game's okay. The Lego games, they're okay. I consider the Lego games middle ground. I'm having a look at my collection right now. Saints Row for some people is middle ground. Lollipop Chainsaw's middle ground, I'd say. Assassin's Creed 3, well, I liked it. That's a middle game in my opinion, if I've ever seen one. The game overall is enjoyable, not as good as Assassin's Creed 4. The main thing that let it down is the story and the character. Hell, for fuck's sake, I got this edition. I got the Assassin's Creed 3 Join or Die edition. I like this. I basically got it for one reason though, and that's this. I got it for that. It's a metal coin. That's a collectible. I love that coin. But yeah, I'd say Assassin's Creed 3 is a middle ground game in all honesty. It isn't great. It isn't fantastic. But yeah, I still think there are definitely middle ground games that are just overall okay. Enjoyable. You will like it or you won't like it. We'll always have the middle ground. It's not going anywhere. And if you're a PC gamer, the middle ground is like the neutral ground. There's the great games over here, the shit games over here, and then the middle ground, which is the neutral territory, which is like games that are okay but not fantastic. So yeah, middle ground still exists. It's not going anywhere. Last question from Wayne is, why do Ubisoft always have towers in their games? It's the same reason that in every Elder Scrolls games, most Elder Scrolls games you play, you start off as a prisoner. Someone who in the team has a fetish for it. That is your answer. There is someone, like in the Elder Scrolls series, who gets off on the idea of being a prisoner. So in Ubisoft games, there is someone who gets off on the idea of making you climb those towers. They love watching gameplay of people having to climb their towers, and they just sit there with a ball of lubrication, some hand cream. Well, it depends. I don't know if it's a male or female, because it could be either one. It could be male or female. So they might not have the lubrication. They might just have a dildo next to them. So whether it's male or female, let's just say it's either cream or a dildo, and they just get off on it. It gets them hard or it gets them wet, and they just go at it. And they absolutely love it so much. That is why Ubisoft games have towers. Either that, or they just like making pointless things that you have to climb everywhere, so you have to unlock everything. So you have to climb it all the way up to the top of every single one, so you can find everything a lot easier, and love wasting our fucking time. But I like to go with the idea that someone gets off on it. Next questions. So thank you, Wayne, for your questions. Next question comes from a BioWare fan. Who is your favourite Dragon Age Inquisition romance and favourite romance in the whole series? Inquisition romance, favourite romance is Cassandra. Favourite romance of all the series, probably Morrigan. There, that was easy. Next set of questions comes from Polity1990. First question is, 1010 from the Naruto series lacked development more than any other character. No backstory, no mention of her parents, and not even enough screen time to show what she's capable of. Do you find this unfair for the Naruto fans who call her useless without seeing too much of her? For anyone who's not familiar, 1010 is a character in the Naruto series. He basically explained the whole thing there. I like 1010. I actually do like the character. I like the idea of her combat. Like, she's a weapon specialist. That's her thing. Like, She can use any weapon. Like, I love that, but I actually really like that about her character. But she didn't get that much development in the manga or the TV series. She got more in the TV series with the filler arcs. I think the TV series tries to give her more development, but I think the main reason she's probably just one of those characters that who's the guy come up with again? Kishimoto? No, that's the right guy. I can't remember the guy who came up with Naruto. I'm pretty sure it's just one of those characters he probably just thought up at the last minute. And probably just... Because that kind of happens in a lot of series, is there is always a character that the creator makes, but then just does nothing with them. Like, they have an idea for it. Like, I'm pretty sure he was like, oh, 10-10, weapon specialist, I can come up with something really great with that. And then goes, I have no idea what to do with her. Because that happens. That happens in the creative development. So... I think 10-10 deserves a lot more character, but there are other characters probably didn't get much development, but overall, it's just because probably the writers had no idea what to do with her. The writer, sorry. But I do think she gets more development in the show than she does in the manga. So, not much I can say about that. I like her character, and in all honesty, she's not useless. Like, she's a bloody weapon specialist, and in the Naruto universe, weapons are awesome. So yeah, that's that. Next question from Polity is, do you think we will get to see the first official trailer for the next Mass Effect at E3? And kind of things, and what kind of things are you hoping to see in it at the same, but that's not giving too much away for the story? I'm not going to talk too much about this question, but I will say this. I think that we'll at least get a teaser sometime this year. Whether it be at E3 or beforehand, I think we'll at least get a teaser. But I don't want to say too much. I might do a video later on doing the idea on that topic. But I don't know yet. I'll think about it. But right now I don't want to say too much. Next question from Polity is, what game do you think would pique your interest more? Uncharted 4 or the next Tomb Raider game? Right now, those games are kind of tied with me. I really liked Tomb Raider. I love the Tomb Raider reboot. I have it. It's somewhere there. In fact, I would grab it if I could see it. I actually can't see it. I love the Tomb Raider reboot. Great story, great voice acting, absolutely visually stunning. I love that game. I love that game. It was awesome. It was definitely what Lara Croft needed. The Uncharted series, I like it. I liked Uncharted 1, I liked Uncharted 2, and I liked Uncharted 3. I'm okay with Uncharted 4 to be the definitive ending of Nathan Drake. So, yeah. Right now, I'd probably say I'm a little bit more excited for the next Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, which... What is it with Rise? What is it with that fucking word? Rise. Rise! I swear, someone gets off on that word or something. But yeah, I'm probably a little bit more excited for the next Tomb Raider in all honesty. But... I don't think there's much else I can say about that. Next question from Pelotti is, have you heard of the film The Lazarus Effect coming out on the 27th of this month? What do you think about it? Let's Google! Okay, I just went and watched the trailer for The Lazarus Effect. That looks like the biggest pile of shit in the earth! Ha! Doesn't help us from the creators of Paranormal Activities and all that stuff. It's a horror film. I don't get excited for horror films anymore. It does not look interesting. It looks like it has an interesting concept about bringing the dead back to life. That's never been done before. Interesting concept. The acting looks okay, but nah, doesn't look interesting. I don't go and see horror films in the theater anymore because I've not seen a good horror film in a long ass time. I do know there's one or two that I'm going to check out, like The Babadook. I'm going to check that out, but. Yeah, Lazarus Effect, not interested. Interesting concept, but maybe I'll wait for it on DVD. So yeah, last question from the Polity. Oh, excuse me. Thoughts on the upcoming Star Wars Battlefield? Is it something that you might be interested in picking up? I have never played a Star Wars Battlefield game. I don't think. I may have at one point in my life, but I don't remember. I'm interested in any Star Wars game. In all honesty, I am interested in seeing any Star Wars game that comes out. I love I don't love the Star Wars universe as much as other people, but I do like the universe. I think it's fascinating. I love the idea of it. So I want to see more Star Wars games. We'll wait and see what happens. So I'll probably pick it up. Thank you, Belletti, for your questions. Now move on to the last set of questions, and the next set of questions comes from Heavy Storm. It says just closing the trailer page because I left it open. Did you prefer Trevor Morris over Enon Zur for Dragon Age Inquisition? For those who don't know, Trevor Morris was the composer of Dragon Age Inquisition. Enon Zur was the composer for Dragon Age Origins, and I think 2 as well. I'm not 100% certain. No, I think it was only Origins. I like them both. I don't know what one I prefer. Enon Zur, I absolutely loved the Dragon Age Origins soundtrack. I think it's absolutely probably one of the best soundtracks of all gaming, in all honesty. One of the best, at least. But I love the Dragon Age Inquisition's music. It just felt epic, in all honesty. The only bad thing I didn't like about Dragon Age Inquisition's music was the exploring the area. There wasn't enough music there, in all honesty. There could have been more ambient music, in all honesty. But then again, I like the soundtrack. I like Dawn Will Come. I like the love theme. I love the main theme. I love the Ready for Battle theme. I think the Dragon Age Inquisition soundtrack is fantastic, and I like Enon Zur and I like Trevor Morris. I think they're both fantastic, so I couldn't really pick a fate. I couldn't pick which one's better. So yeah. Next question from Heavy Storm is: what is your favorite Studio Ghibli film? Okay, I'm gonna get shot for this. I know I am. I have not seen every single Studio Ghibli film. Studio Ghibli, I have been familiar with. As I said, if you're an anime fan, you've always been familiar with them. But I've never watched a lot of their stuff. I'm trying to think of the ones I have watched. I've watched Graveyard of the Fireflies, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery. I've actually not watched the full thing of Kiki's Delivery Service. I only caught the last half hour on telly once. I've got 1 or 2 of them I still own that I actually haven't gotten around to watching yet. But I am checking out the Ghibli library as I go along. I don't have a favourite right now. I really like Graveyard of the Fireflies, even though it is one of the best animes I am never going to watch again, because it was way too fucking depressing. I liked Hell's Moving Castle, but it was meh for me personally. It was okay. And I'm going to get shot for that. I said I haven't watched the full thing of Kiki's Delivery Service. I am slowly but surely picking up the Ghibli library. But right now, as I said, I couldn't really pick a favourite one because I haven't seen every single one of them. If I had to pick one I really liked, Graveyard of Fireflies is absolutely brilliant. I'd highly recommend you at least watch it once and then never again. As is, but I can't pick a personal favourite overall because I haven't seen every single one. So I do apologise. I know I'm going to get shot for it. They're on my list. I have like a pile of DVDs over here that I'm still working my way through. In fact, I might as well show you right now, actually. So I'm going to move my camera. I'm going to show you the pile of DVDs that I'm currently working through, okay? So, let's see. That's them there. Like, that is the... some of them I've already watched, like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes I've watched. But basically everything roughly in that pile, and some in that pile, and some over there, and a very large majority of them are downstairs, however. Let me just actually put this camera back so you can actually see me. There we go. Make sure it's perfect. Now, most of the ones that I'm watching right now are actually downstairs. But yeah, I have a fuck ton of films I'm still working my way through because I tend to do that. I tend to buy films and then have them for like 3 or 4 months and never watch them. I tend to do that. So Ghibli's on my list. I'm probably not sure of that. So yeah. Next questions from Heavy Storm are: which gaming studio has had the worst 2014 in terms of gaming quality? I didn't play every single game that came out last year. If I had to say, I would probably say Ubisoft had the worst year last year just because of all the shit that happened with them. But I really can't say much as I didn't play every single game that came out, but I'd probably say Ubisoft probably had one of the worst years last year just because of what happened with Unity and all that. So yeah, I don't have much to say on that. Next question from Heavy Storm is: do you think this generation of console could be the last? No. There will always be a market for the console. There will always be a market for the gaming console. There will always be a market for it, no matter what. This is not the last. It says, People said that when I get where people are coming from, but with every generation has had a gaming console, from the NES to the N64 to the GameCube, PlayStation, PS3. There's always going to be a gaming console, no matter what. There's always going to be a market for it, no matter what. So I understand why some people might think this might be the last, but I highly, highly, highly doubt that it will be the last. So yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think it will be the last. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Next question is from Heavy Storm. His last question is, what your favorite game to movie adaptation? P.S. Most suck. Yes, most do. I'm trying to honestly think of a good video game adaptation movie that I liked. I really am. Let's see. Nope, hated it. No, I didn't hate it. It was okay. It wasn't great. Looking forward to it. The Assassin's Creed one, cause Michael Fassbender. Nope, that was overboard. His one suck. Tomb Raider. I like Tomb Raider. I like the first Tomb Raider film. I think it's good. I think it's good. It captured what Tomb Raider was about at the time, which we all know what it was about at the time. You know what I mean? But I actually don't think I've seen it. I've seen some video game adaptations. I'm also trying to think of video game adaptations I've seen, but most of them I end up avoiding. I'm honestly trying to think, but I think probably Tomb Raider is probably one of the better ones. I'm interested to see what could happen with Assassin's Creed, also the Mass Effect movie. I am actually interested to see how the Warcraft movie actually turns out, because from what I've heard, they might actually do a good job of it. First Resident Evil film, I still like the first Resident Evil film. I think it's actually pretty good in all honesty for its time. Second one is still enjoyable. After that, they get fucking stupid. Even though I love Mila Jovovich. She's awesome. Prince of Persia was alright. It wasn't amazing. But I honestly think that's about all I could say on that. I'm trying to look through my collection to see if there's any I'm missing, but I honestly can't think of any that were absolutely amazing. Because we're still waiting on that one video game movie to go, that was the best video game movie of all time. Dragon Age, The Dawn of the Sequel's good. That's a good one. Paragon Lost is okay. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, and we're going to move on to the final question. Let me just double check Twitter to make sure I do not have any last minute ones. And nope, we do not. Last question comes from Quarian Magic. If you were one of the 7 Treventer Magisters of old, like Corypheus, who invaded the Golden City, which old god would you represent and why? Here's the thing, the Treventer Magisters weren't representing the old gods. They were worshipping the old gods. The primarily one being Dumont, which is the most recent Blight one, I think. I honestly cannot think of one I'd probably want. It probably would be Uthena, I believe her name is. Let me actually get the name so I don't screw this up. I don't want to screw up any of their names. I don't know them off by heart, in all honesty. I just can't remember what ones have been made into. Okay, there's Dumont, which was the first archdemon. Zakir, who was the Dragon of Silence. Zazakiel, which is the Dragon of Chaos. Toth, which is the Dragon of Fire. Androl, which is the Dragon of Slaves. Uthena, which is the most recent one, which is the Dragon of Beauty. Razikai, which is the Dragon of Mystery. And Lucican, which is the Dragon of Night. I'd probably go with the Dragon of the Night, just because it sounds cool. Yeah, that's it. Sorted. But the thing is, though, they only worshipped them. They didn't really represent them. I think if you're asking what old god would I represent the most, I'd probably go with either Night or Beauty, because I'm absolutely gorgeous. No, it'd probably be Night. So yeah, I think that's all the questions. I thank you for all of your questions. I'm just going to double check to make sure I haven't missed any. I sometimes end up missing one or two last minute. But yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's actually all the questions. So I thank you for all of your questions. I hope I answered them to the best of my ability. I thank you for watching. I thank you for everyone who submitted the question. And I'll see you all next time in the next Ask the Warrior or the next video I do. So thank you for watching. As always, I'm Scottish Warrior 92. I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.